Welcome to the Hedgehog Watchdog. I'm your host, Davison County, joined always by Greg Baldwin. We're the meme team behind Libertarian Party of South Dakota, South Dakotans Against Prohibition. Today's episode is brought to you by Pinkcoin. You can check them out at pinkcoin.com. Our guest today is the interim chair of Davison County, Shawn Gregory Rodgers. How you doing?
Guys?
Welcome. I was trying to share and it wasn't working, so sorry.
What are you trying to share?
Oh, I was just trying to share it around the link around a bunch of places, and I didn't.
It's all good, dude. Everybody should be liking our page and have this feed live, like in their news feed, right when we go live. Is Greg from Vermont? Tommy Trees asks, "Are you from Vermont, Greg? Where are you from? Born and raised South Dakotan or what?"
Pretty much. I was actually an army brat, so I was actually born in Frankfurt, Germany. But other than Frankfurt, Germany, we lived in Germany.
So you're not even technically. You got your papers, Greg? Are you even American?
Dual citizen. Dual citizen.
What about you, Shawn? Sorry.
Yeah, and then after that, pretty much lifelong South Dakota after that.
Nice. What about you, Shawn? Are you from South Dakota, or did you move here? Or what's your origin story?
I'm actually from Chicago.
All right.
Born and raised in Chicago. Then I moved from Chicago to Texas when I joined the military. I was in the Army for a couple years, got general discharge, never got deployed, moved to Utah, back to Chicago, back to Utah. Then eventually I moved to Mitchell, South Dakota. Been here for 7 years now, longest I've been anywhere since I became a legal adult. And I'll say, honestly, this is a place I'd love to call home. I like South Dakota. I like Mitchell.
So what brought you to South Dakota?
It's actually my... long story short, my sister-in-law, she was like, "Hey, if you're tired of moving back and forth between Utah and Chicago, why don't you come try it out here?" I was like, you know what? I got nothing to lose. Why not? So, yeah, I headed out here. And, 7 years later, I'm still here. And I love it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. The Army for a couple years. My brother was in the Army for a long time.
Yeah, I was a 19 Delta. I was a Cav Scout. Yeah, they got me into the Army by showing me this fake video. The government lied to me. Can you believe that? They showed me this fake video of like jumping out of helicopters with Uzis and like parachuting onto dirt bikes. And I'm like, what? Yeah, like I want to do that. And then you get to basic and they're like, yeah, we don't do any of that. Like, you're stupid if you believe that. Here's what you're going to do now. And I'm like, wow, like, okay, great start. Great start to a relationship. I like this. I like where this is going.
Cole Morris says, "I fell for that 19D video too."
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Wait, the government lied to you? No way, says Tommy Trees. Tommy Trees also says,
I was like, I cannot believe that.
I went to school with Greg Baldwin, and he actually looks a bit like you. He looks like who? Me or Shawn?
It's your brother.
He looks like either of us.
So what brought you to be a libertarian? Are you kind of new to the party? And
yeah, actually, I literally found out about the Libertarian Party shortly before Joe Jorgensen ran. For a while, I just didn't even know what I was. Like, I was like, I kind of went on the Democrat side growing up because my grandmother was a Democrat, and then around the Trump era, I was like, no, I like what he says more, and then I was like, okay, I'm this weird breed of Republican Democrat, I guess. I don't really know what I am. And then somebody in a random thing on Facebook was like, well, what about the Libertarian Party? And I was like, what the hell is a libertarian? And then I read all about it and I'm like, yeah, I'm that. And then I kind of announced that, okay, in 2020, I'm like, if we don't have a viable Republican or Democratic or Libertarian candidate, like, I'm just not going to vote. I'm not playing the games anymore. Like, I'm not doing it. And then Joe Jorgensen just popped out of nowhere. And I was like, yeah, I want all of that. Like, let's do that. And then from then it was like I just full blown got thrown into it because I'm like, yeah, she's speaking a lot of sense. Of course, I found you guys, the local party, after I went on what is that, Slack. And I was actually doing the online answering for Joe Jorgensen for a while, but I wasn't experienced enough. So they were like, hey, you don't really know enough about politics. We're going to have to let you go. Why don't you start with your local party and you can build from there? And I'm like, that's fair enough, So, yeah, here I am trying to, get things going in Davison County and get more people involved. I tell everybody I can about the Libertarian Party. Ever since I've gotten involved, I've been super excited about it. So.
Yeah, dude, it's that Liberty fever, dude. I've had it too. I remember like when I first heard the name Libertarian, I think it was Alex Jones was debating Pierce Morgan on gun control. And then Alex Jones, I don't know if anybody's ever saw that video, but dude, it was pretty intense, dude. Alex Jones like demolished Pierce Morgan. And this was like 10 years ago before the whole Sandy Hook thing or whatever. And it was beautiful, dude. And I was like, what is this Alex Jones guy about? And he's like, libertarian. So I was like, okay, I better check out these libertarian people.
And then years later, you found out he wasn't even that libertarian.
Yeah, he's not even that libertarian. He's just like he's very light libertarian. Mostly Trump supporter now. Like after Trump was running, that's all he talked about was Trump this, Trump that. It's like, dude, you suck. So then I moved on to starting my own libertarian podcast. Shawn, what do you think about UFOs? I'm going to ask this before Greg gets it out because he always asks this. Pentagon's been talking about UFOs a lot this last year. What do you think about them? Do you think it's legit?
UFOs?
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I'm like such a skeptic. I just believe what I see. And it's like, if with anything, it's like, unless I actually see it, it's like, I don't believe it. Like, I need to see it. I need to see proof. Like, I'll be honest, as a libertarian, a lot of people would be disappointed in me. Like, I am so not a conspiracy theorist, like, at all. I'm like,
so you think the moon landing happened, huh?
Yeah.
Why not? Why wouldn't? I just don't see how the government would make money off of lying about landing on the moon. So I just don't see a motive behind it. If you were like, yeah, they made billions of dollars off of it, I'd be like,
yeah, some of the people come up with way crazy theories on why they would fake it. I think like the most plausible theory was that they wanted the Russians to spend a bunch of money to try to go to the moon when it was impossible and like bankrupt them.
I can see that.
That's the only plausible thing I can think of.
Yeah, but again, I need some documented proof. Like, obviously with the whole Epstein thing, I mean, you don't really need proof for that. It's just like, no, that didn't happen. Like, dude did not hang himself. Like, there's no leading up to him saying, you know what, I'm done. I'm not going to testify.
I was just reading that they were letting those guards off. Like, they're not going to charge them with any. Like, I heard they were charging them like in 2019 for sleeping and lying on their reports. Yeah. But now they're not going to charge them with anything. They're going to let them off scot-free.
I thought I saw something like probation or something stupid.
Yeah, basically what they're gonna do to Roundsburg, just like, they'll slap your wrist.
Now you got the McAfee thing now too, and that's like, okay, like this isn't a coincidence anymore. Seriously, nobody gonna investigate this? Like, why is there no investigation?
I haven't read any recent reports since the day John McAfee supposedly committed suicide. But like, why aren't they? Like, why don't we have more like information? Like, how did he commit suicide supposedly? Or like, why didn't the guards see that something was wrong? Or, I've been hearing it's just like kind of nothing. Yeah, it's just like not a lot of information. There's a lot more information with Epstein when Epstein didn't kill himself. Yeah. Like, we had a lot more details that's first day after Epstein was murdered. I'm just gonna say it was murdered. I'm not even gonna say he committed suicide.
Yeah.
Like we knew like the guards what they were doing. We knew that cameras were malfunctioning. We knew that his cellmate was transferred out of his cell. Like we knew all that the next day. Tommy Trez says they said he hung himself. Okay, so just like Epstein. I don't know. Chris German says convenient. I missed an old comment from Tommy Trez. It says I became a libertarian in 2007 when Ron Paul was running. I remember the first time I heard about Ron Paul. I was like 15 years old working at Fuddruckers. I think that was in the 2007 era, 2008. No, that had been 2006, 2007. And like somebody came in with flyers for Ron Paul, and I'd never heard of this dude before. And that was like my first exposure to this libertarian philosophy, but it didn't really catch on then because I'm not gonna lie, I was a pretty communist kid when I was like 18. From like 15 to 18, you know, you're in public school and just pretty heavily brainwashed into thinking that taxes are good because they help our schools, blah, blah, blah. They're just going to help my teacher, Mrs. Matson and Mr. Zur, and I need them to get raises, so we need more taxes. But, you know, you get older.
Why can't I have free stuff? Like, the government just gives free stuff. Like, why are you being greedy, bro? Then once I started learning about economics, I was like, oh, that's why. Okay, my bad.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah, it's crazy that economics when I was in school was an elective. It wasn't even like I figured, you know, that should be something that's mandatory in my opinion. Economics class. You know, it's kind of nice to know how wealth is generated, you know, when you're a teenager.
I just think that we should abolish the Board of Education. I mean, I'm all on board with that. Everybody should just learn
dude. Can you imagine the party that would go down in like libertarian history if the Board of Education or the federal, what is it called? The Federal Board of Education or something? I don't know. If they finally got closed down permanently.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Tommy Tress says, help my teacher indoctrinate me with communist bullshit. Yay. Yes, dude. That's literally how I was when I was 18. Like, I was definitely not, I wasn't even a Democrat. I was like full-blown communist. I didn't even know I was a communist. I just thought, oh, it's only fair if everybody makes the same amount of money. It's like you don't even think about anything else. Oh crap!
Yeah, like tax the rich. They got too much money. They don't need all that money.
Yeah.
I need Wi-Fi.
Yeah, dude. I remember writing a report. Like we had to write. I don't know, like in high school, you have to write reports or something, and you can pick whatever topic. And I think my topic was all businesses should be employee-owned businesses. And I'm really embarrassed about it. I hope that nobody ever finds that paper. And I hope like my high school teacher like lost it or burned it. I just feel like someday it's going to get brought back out like, oh, look what Devin Saxon wrote when he was 18 years old in high school. Oh, shit. Got his dirty laundry right here.
I look at some of my posts from like 10 years ago, and I'm not going to lie, I'm just like cringe. Like, it's so cringe. I'm like, I was that? Like, ew.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the beauty about the Libertarian Party. It's people have changed their beliefs to libertarian generally. There's mostly that compared to people who were grew up with libertarians and kind of got taught it early. I think I'd say like 80% of the party became libertarian from something else.
Yeah, our numbers are growing. That's undeniable. I mean, more and more people are learning about the Libertarian Party, and the party is definitely growing exponentially since social media than it has the last umpteen years.
Yeah, I definitely think social media is going to take us to the next level where we finally get some people elected. Like, I don't even care if it's only 5 people. That's enough for me. That's enough to be a swing vote.
Well, there's only like
11
Democrats elected in South Dakota right now anyways. So five would definitely be a big deal.
The Democrats in South Dakota aren't even that liberal. I've noticed they're like probably the most conservative Democrats in the entire country, probably, which makes them like kind of libertarian when you think about it. It's like, okay, so if you're a Democrat and you're all about guns, you basically just got to drop this universal healthcare shit and like free college education, and you're basically libertarian as hell.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
They're passing around a petition to expand Medicaid right now. So
are they?
Oh yeah.
I don't know how that's gonna go.
Well, what'll happen is even if the voters pass it, the legislature will just nullify it. Which in this case, you're kind of like, all right, cool, man. But we hated it when they did that with, Amendment A and stuff,
Yeah, I know that somebody's paying big money for one of these petitions. I don't know what it is yet, but I got a call from my old job where they paid really good money to go petition to legalize weed in South Dakota. And they got hired again for one of these other petitions. So we'll see. We'll see what the petition it is, if it's good enough to get me off the couch and out there back on the streets.
Well, not unless you're going to get vaccinated.
I'm going to start paying me. Oh, yeah. They want you to get vaccinated, too. So I did get vaccinated, but I lost my report card in a boating accident. It was very unfortunate. Tommy Trees says, the problem is when people who migrate to libertarianism from left or right or even anarchists and don't understand it try to graft their ideas onto libertarianism. Yeah, I definitely see that. That's usually like your very first year or two, like when you're starting to dip your toes into it. You're probably still clinging onto some of these socialist ideals or wherever you came from. Like I came from the socialism side. But I mean, if you're from the super Republican side, you're probably clinging onto some things from that side too, like borders or whatever.
Yeah, see, I went rapidly from Democrat to Republican to Libertarian because it all started with the idea of somebody finally brought it to my attention, dude, you can't tax the rich. And I'm like, well, yeah, you can. You just tax them. Like, dude, they're not rich because they're dumb. Like, they're just going to move money and it's going to leave the country. And then we're really fucked. And I had to really think about that. And I was like, oh, yeah, shit. Then it was kind of like from there, then, yeah, I got sucked up into the whole Trump thing. And then, once basically I realized he lied about everything he said he was going to do, just like any president, in the last 50 years, I was like, you know what, I'm done. Like, I don't even want to play anymore. Like, you guys suck.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember I had that revelation with Obama. That was like the last day I would consider myself a Democrat was, I don't know, I was debating somebody and we were debating on whether or not Obama would sign the indefinite detention clause. Like he would sign that military budget. What is that bill? That comes up every year. National Defense Authorization Act. All right. In 2012, for the first time, there was a clause called indefinite detention of people that are just suspected of that could be terrorists someday, maybe, which is a clear violation of our constitutional rights. And then I bet like Obama's not going to sign that. Like Obama's a good guy, man. Everybody gives him crap because they don't like that he's black. Blah blah blah. Dude, he signed the thing. Indefinite detention of American citizens, dude. And I was like, dude, I am done with this crap, dude. They just say whatever the hell and they just make fancy speeches and smile. But when it comes down to like the actual policy that they're signing, it's like, dude, you're literally just okaying concentration camps in America and putting on like a polite face about it. Like, hell no, dude. I'm going to start listening to Alex Jones now. This is bullshit.
These people are doing illegally. It will not be tolerated by the American people.
Yeah.
You will be detained and sent back to your proper country.
Yeah, dude, like, that's the shit they're saying now. They're saying like,
yeah, you're running for.
Yeah, exactly, dude. And another thing he did that really pissed me off was like the first year, he was in office, he launched a war in Libya and just kind of pretended like, oh, our hands are clean. We're just backing the French. They're the ones sending missiles. And then it's like, well, actually, we're arming the rebels. And yes, we armed the rebels that pierced Gaddafi in the rear end with the bayonet on live stream. That was awkward, but yeah, that's our team. It's like, what the fuck? Like, are you kidding me? Yeah. Did you guys see that video? Dude, that happened, man. I remember watching that when I was, God, I had been like 19 when I was going down. I was like, man. Anyhow, well, let's ask Shawn some questions. Do you have any questions for Shawn? Should we just skip right to the Mitchell walk, or do we want to know more about? I think he kind of answered the question on how he got involved with the Libertarian Party.
Yeah, I always just slide into that. I noticed that's a trend on this show. With like, we're going to talk about this for a minute.
Let's see. Tommy Tress says, I voted for Trump this time for one reason, banning critical race theory, and Joe is panning to the left. Boo! Man, I can't believe you vote for Donald Trump. That is pretty bad, dude. For one thing, that's the thing that really upsets me is like Joe does the one thing that somebody doesn't like, but then they'll vote for the guy who's like a complete freaking authoritarian. Like this guy's gassing people for protesting outside the White House. Like, give me a break.
He banned bump stocks.
He banned bump stocks.
He tripled the national. He spent more than Obama.
He spent more. In 1 year. He spent more than Obama's entire term.
Here's something people don't like to fucking hear, and I'm just sick of it. He was a fucking socialist. Everyone talks about they want to fight the socialists. What the fuck do you think all them stimulus checks were? Yeah. All them bailouts, all them fucking, come on, man. Yeah, come on.
Yeah, dude. You said that was the wrong thing to say on this show, Tommy.
No one's backing Trump on this show.
You just got us. Man, we're all angry now. We got our blood pressure up. We can't do this, man.
I know. I just swore like 5 times. It's like, come on. Dude.
We're doing a family show here. Now we're just throwing F-bombs everywhere.
Oh, my God. Joe Jorgensen said something about black people.
And to make that clear, no, she actually supported the movement before it became an organization. She even admitted, I do not support the Marxist BLM organization. That's not what this was about. They hijacked the movement. She clarified that in every way, shape, and form, that she did not support the riots.
Dude. People don't want to hear that, though.
She's like, they're violating the NAP. Like, she covered all of that.
Oh, man. This guy's going, all right. This guy's launching nuclear bombs at us right now. I don't know if I should read this. Let's do it. Tommy Tress says it was also an anti-Biden vote. No! Really didn't want Biden in there. Ugh.
Oh, my God. No, Tommy. Don't do that to yourself.
I almost threw up, dude. I almost threw up. Swear to God, dude. I don't know how many nukes we can take on this show. Chris German says COVID costs more money than defeating fascism in World War II. I believe it's like trillions of dollars.
That's like saying I decided to not eat the burger because I didn't want the shit with puke to get in the office, so I just ate the shit. It's like that wasn't really no. I'm sorry.
Well, I once had a guy ask me, because they always say it's principle over partisan politics, and so I'm a libertarian, obviously, but like each state's a little bit different. But like in South Dakota, I was asked, they said, well, what if Ron Paul was running for the president, let's say in 2020 in South Dakota, would you?
It's always a crazy hypothetical, man.
Would you vote for Ron Paul? And the answer is no, because South Dakota is an overwhelmingly Republican state, and my vote does not matter one damn bit if I'm going to vote for a Republican. It doesn't, because the Democrats, like you said, they're almost non-existent here in South Dakota. They don't have the numbers, and it doesn't matter who the Democrats run. They're not going to win South Dakota. Hell, the
Yeah.
former governor of South Dakota in the late 80s ran for president and didn't even win his own home state. I mean, it's kind of crazy to believe that we actually used to have a couple senators, or we had a U.S. House and a senator, and they were both Democrats, and that wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, dude. Democrats had like solid control of our federal positions for like 10 years when I was growing up. And it was really weird. Like we'd have a Republican governor, but then like both our senators would be Democrats and the House of Representative person would be Democrat. But like I said, South Dakotan Democrats are not like Californian Democrats. In California, South Dakota Democrats would be considered moderate Republicans. Like they're not anywhere near. And you have to be like, you're not going to win in South Dakota if you're a hardcore liberal Democrat.
I know a couple pretty hardcore Democrats that I work with, and I won't say names, of course, you know, but yeah, they're all about universal health care. And oh yeah, they were bashing Trump the entire term of 2016 to 2020. They get ganged up on so much at my job.
Tara says Billy Sutton would win this time. I think that's why Christy is running around saying she supports weed now, because 70% of South Dakota supported legalizing weed in some fashion. That's a huge majority. That's something that you can't ignore. Like, you're not going to win by just catering to the 30% who are still anti-weed, who just, I mean, like, who are these people? Who are these 30%? I mean, I met some of them when I went out to West River, because that's where I think they mostly live.
Boomers, man.
They're crazy, dude. They literally think their whole argument is, I don't want South Dakota to end up like Oregon and Colorado. Let's just, once they legalize weed, everything went to hell and it just reeks down there. Everything smells and all the kids are on drugs now. It's like, dude, you're just making shit up. Like, you're not even, you've never been to Colorado or Oregon. You don't know.
Slippery slope argument.
Tommy Tree says, to be fair, I did vote Libertarian for governor. That is awesome, Tommy. Way to support your local third party in whatever state you're from.
Vermont.
Yeah, dude. Vermont. Like, it's, dude, like, we need to keep our ballot access. That's what I vote Libertarian for. Even if it's like a Libertarian candidate that pissed me off, I'm just kind of like, well, it's either this or I'm going to petition. Like, I want the Libertarian Party to get to where we're like 10% or higher. Then you can protest vote against your party if somebody pisses you off. But when it comes to like having to spend like tens of millions of dollars every freaking election just to get on the ballot, and all the other two parties don't have to waste that money to get on the ballot, they're just automatically added. It's like, come on, dude. We need to get on that same level where we're just automatically on the ballot. All our money is focused on the candidates then. It's the dream, man. So
yeah, Davison County.
Yeah, Davison County. Yeah.
The new interim chair. You got any specific goals or ideas you would like to work on in the future with that?
Well, one of the things that I would like to see, of course, like I said, is from the very get-go, is the spread of the liberty movement in Davison County and, of course, all across South Dakota. But I believe, you know, that's the goal of any party. But one of the things I noticed about libertarians is that it's been brought up a few times before, with the difference between the Democrats and the Republicans, of course, is we don't have state backing, we don't have state funding, so we have to do this from, you know, the ground up. And I think that we really need to push, you know, even if it's small funding towards your local party or national party. You know, people don't like to hear that word. They're like, oh, well, I'm not funding anything, you know, and it's like, well, that we're not going to get anywhere if you don't pitch in. You know, even if it's like $2, $3, or even if you just buy a shirt to wear around, you know, any little bit helps.
Yeah, if you buy a Libertarian Party of South Dakota shirt, that basically gives the party $10. And that we can use that to send how many postcards, Greg, for $10, you think?
Oh, about 20.
20 postcards, dude. That's 20 people that we can ask to send us even more money, like on a monthly donation plan.
we might even be able to get Devin a green screen. I think we can make
Dude, I'm gonna set up a room in my house specifically for this podcast eventually. Once we get to that next level, I think like once we can advance to 1080, what do you call that? 1080,
HDMI or HD.
whatever. Yeah, like up our HD stream to 1080 from 720. That costs like twice as much money a month though. So buy some Hedgehog Watchdog shirts. Help us out.
Yeah, every little bit helps the party. I mean,
yeah.
As we were talking about before, I mean, I'm trying to host an event here in Mitchell, the Walk for Liberty.
That sounds awesome, dude. I'm definitely going to that. Are you going to that, Greg? You need it, Greg. Just kidding. We both need it. We need to walk more, dude. Like we need to be in tip-top shape come next election, man. So we should do a lot more of these physical fitness activities. I know Sioux Falls did a Frisbee Golf for Freedom, which is basically like hiking, but you're throwing a Frisbee at the same time. So tell us about Walking for Freedom in Davison County. Where's that going to be? Is that going to be like a hiking trail somewhere?
No, it's right over on Burr. On the right, we're going to start at the skate park. That's the beginning of the bike trail, and that goes all the way down to Minnesota Avenue over there by First Street, and then turn around, walk right back. No obligations or anything. It's not like you got to fill anything out or
obligations.
Just show up, do a walk for liberty, kind of get some exercise, and also support your local libertarian party.
We've got some libertarians in the area, but it's never been very organized. So I look forward to seeing what can happen there. Tara, who's been commenting, is one of the local libertarians.
Yeah, Tara's from Mitchell too.
Yeah.
Do you run for mayor, Tara, or what?
We just became friends on Facebook like 2 days ago.
Here it is. Walk for Freedom. That's going to be August 7th at 10 a.m. in Mitchell. Where did that start again? Did you say, Shawn? Where do we meet up?
Burr Avenue. It's right there. You go right under the overpass. It's between Havens and First Street, and it's a skate park right there. Most of the people in Mitchell know it. It's the Mitchell Skate Park.
Nice. Oh wait, let me get this off the screen here. Sorry.
And if anything, if we could just throw in a couple things, whatever, between here and now. I mean, if we can get enough money, I don't know, even get a tent where people can register as libertarians. I don't know if that's a thing, if that's something we can do, or even if we could set up a booth to sell T-shirts. If someone wanted to buy a T-shirt, just before they go on to walk or after, whatever,
I've got a crate of shirts. I don't know how many we'll sell at Freedom Fest, but whatever's left over, we can bring it to the Mitchell event. And we could probably even order some more shirts after we get rid of the last of these.
I actually make a habit of ordering pens from the, National. I have them delivered, and then I go to work and I hand out pens at work. So there's
That's smart. That's smart, dude. That's better than a postcard. You're getting a use out of it more than just reading it. You kind of get a writing utensil.
They look at the pen, they're like, "Oh, libertarian."
Tara says, "Sounds like fun." You better show up, Tara. You didn't come to our last event, I don't think. So you got to show up to this next one. If I'm showing up from Sioux Falls, every libertarian in Mitchell better be there, right, Greg?
What about your buddy Alexander Martin?
Yeah, you better be there, dude. We can have a little talk about guns.
Shit, Kurt Evans is from close by too. Maybe we'll get a little Kurt, our former governor candidate.
I got a couple people that actually switched to libertarian. That I'm gonna brag here. Yes, I did convert, and they said they were up. So
nice.
And now I have every weekends off. I just changed my schedule, so I'll be off every Friday, Saturday. And I'll be here for the podcast now every Sunday, because I know I was working every other Sunday, and it was either working or sleeping. So,
nice.
I got a little more time now.
As a fat
Cheers.
guy, real quick. So as a fat guy, and we're doing a walk for freedom. Maybe we can all meet up for lunch afterwards too. You know, you got to think about that. Got to
I'm
replenish.
always down for
Yeah,
food.
dude. Tara says that Tara says she'll host a deck party.
Ooh, all right.
That sounds
So looks like Tara's gonna throw a barbecue after the walk. We're gonna hold her to that. Tara says, Shawn, see if you can get something in the paper. Yeah, that'd be something. I think the state party could probably send out an email to the local paper there to see if we can get something in there. I don't know who still reads the newspapers these days, but maybe some people will see that. So, should we go over some headlines that are happening in South Dakota and talk about those? I know Greg just abandoned me here. I don't even have the questions for Shawn. Greg has got the questions. I already know everything I need to know about Shawn, in my opinion. I don't know. I think he's a cool dude. You passed the job interview, Shawn. You passed it. Well, let's talk about Joe Biden first. We'll start with Joe Biden because he said some stuff. Then we'll circle back. We'll circle back to what we were talking about with Christy Noem. But here's
new people. Yeah.
Yeah. No spoilers here. Here, I think we've got a YouTube video here. Let's play it. We'll comment on it while it's playing. I'll pause it if I need to. Let's just hear. I actually haven't heard this. I've seen a bunch of memes and a bunch of news articles. Let's see what he actually says here regarding nukes and F-15s.
Yeah, I never did listen to it, actually.
Passed. People could own a gun. A weapon you could own. Couldn't buy cannon. Those who say the blood of patriots.
Okay, let's pause right there.
Get some buffalo.
Yes, you could buy cannons when the Second Amendment was written. You could absolutely buy cannons. There's no regulations on it. And people will buy cannons all the time because they need to protect their boats from pirates. Like, hello. Like, where does he get this information? He's just blurting out factoids that don't even exist.
Sounds like another Trump.
Oh, dude, I don't even know. I want to hear where the Trumpers are. They complimenting Biden because he's got more kids in cages than Trump did. Like, Trumpers should be all about that.
Yeah, it's really the same president. I don't even know why they're arguing. It's like, dude, you're arguing over color.
Yeah.
It's just because it's a blue party and not red party. Like, that's stupid.
Biden's proposing paying police officers twice as much. So, again, I thought the Democrats were going to defund the police. Now their president's going to double their budget. I mean, Trumpers should be all about that. You don't hear any Trumpers talking about Biden's proposals that they were in favor of not more than 6 months ago. I remember
how's he going to ban menthol cigarettes if the cops don't have?
Oh yeah. Yeah, banning menthol cigarettes, and then didn't Trump? Wasn't that the ban on flavored vape pens? Did that actually go through, or did that stall out? Can you buy flavored vapes?
No, it didn't pass. I didn't. But the 21 and older did. It didn't. You used to be able to buy cigarettes at 18. Now you got to be 21.
Yeah, dude, that's just crazy. All right, I rewinded it for a little bit here. Let's start at 10 seconds.
Those who say the blood of patriots,
blood of
patriots, stuff about how we're going to have to move against the government. Well, the tree of liberty is not water with the blood of patriots. What's happened is that there never been. If you want to think you need to have weapons to take on the government, you need F-15s and maybe some nuclear weapons. The point is,
the Taliban didn't.
Ability to limit rationally.
Yeah, this guy voted for Vietnam, didn't he? Like, that's how old this guy's been in government. Give me a break.
I think Biden had something to do with the Bay of Pigs invasion.
Oh my god, dude! I can't stand this guy. I can't stand this guy talking crap about Thomas Jefferson's quote about feeding the tree of liberty with the blood of patriots and the blood of tyrants. Like, that's the part he stumbled over. He didn't want to say that for some reason. Like it was gonna hurt his reptilian self if he said that. That was a joke. I don't actually think he's a reptilian, but I mean, look at the guy. He could be one. Like I don't blame people for believing that conspiracy. Look at this dude. He looks like a lizard. I like this freeze frame image I have of him with his eyes closed too. That's pretty nice.
We limit the type of weapon that can be owned and who can own it. The last time we had data on this issue.
Who the hell is going to nuke American citizens, though? Like, do you think any soldier would follow that order? Who's going to pay these soldiers, anyways? Like, once they start nuking us and flying F-15s into like our cities, wouldn't we just stop paying taxes? And then how the soldiers going to get paid? Are they just gonna, like they need a paycheck? We're the ones paying them, not Joe Biden. He's not writing out checks for them. So I'm just curious on who he thinks is going to be launching airstrikes onto American cities if we decide that we want a new government. Let's keep playing.
This issue of who was purchasing guns was more than 20 years ago. 5% of gun dealers, turns out, in the study we did, showed that 90% of illegal guns were found at the crime scenes, sold by 5% of gun dealers. 5% sold 90% of the guns found at crime scenes. And these merchants of death are breaking the law for profit. They're selling guns that are killing innocent people. It's wrong, it's unacceptable. As the Attorney General said, we're going to crack down on those gun dealers and the violent criminals they knowingly arm. In April, I announced that the
What the hell was that percentage he was talking about? He said like 5% of 90% of illegal gun purchases are done by somebody not licensed. Like, what the hell do we really? I don't know. I didn't take Common Core, so I can't do 5% of 90% real quick. Wait, I probably can. What is that?
I was like, wait, Devin. Wait, hold on a second.
Is that like 4.5%? Or wait. Oh my God, dude.
Something like that. It'd be like 4 point something percent.
So like 4.5% of guns done in crimes are from people who are selling guns without a license. That's so little. Are you kidding me? What about Fast and the Furious? These guys were literally selling guns to Mexican drug cartels to track them. And those guns were used to shoot people. Like, dude, I get so offended when the government calls the American people like merchant death dealers because people want to buy and sell guns. It's like, dude, are you kidding me? Have you seen what you've done to Yemen? You're literally selling weapons to Saudi Arabia that they're using to bomb wedding parties in Yemen, and they're using those weapons to starve Yemen to death. Like, holy crap, dude. Just the arrogance.
And if they didn't use guns, they would use something else. People are going to kill each other. Like in Britain, like everybody's stabbing each other. It's like, if you didn't have guns, you're going to stab somebody, you're going to whoop someone's ass.
Yeah.
Like there's
Now they want you to turn in your knives because turning in knives keeps people safe.
Yeah, because all the criminals are going to be like, you know what? I'm just going to stop using my knife now. Like, you're right. I should totally drop off my knife.
But the Justice Department is going to be issuing an annual report on gun trafficking so we can update that data. Today, the department is announcing, as it just did, a major crackdown on the flow of guns used to commit violent crimes. It's zero tolerance for gun dealers who willfully violate key existing laws and regulations. Let me repeat, zero tolerance. If you willfully—
Great. Another zero tolerance policy like with drugs. That works so well.
If you willfully fail to run a background check, if you willfully falsify a record, if you willfully fail to cooperate with the tracing requests or inspections, my message to you is this: we'll find you and we will seek your license to sell guns. We'll make
and
sure
we'll
you
nuke
can't
your
sell
city
guns
and with an
naked on our
F-15.
streets. It's an outrage. It has to end, and we'll end it. Period. Second.
Oh my God.
That is usually covered by her.
And we'll end it. Period. No, you won't. because you didn't have the drug war period ever, and you're never going to. Was that the end of it? Okay, good. I don't know if I can listen to any more of that.
Did you forget about the American Revolution? Like, I'm wondering that.
Dude, that's a shit.
Just,
Shit makes me just want a machine gun really bad.
Guerrilla warfare. Like, did he forget about that?
Yeah. All right, what are we bringing up next? I suppose we can talk about Kristi Noem. Kristi Noem all of a sudden has been the biggest advocate for medical marijuana for years. Did you guys hear this?
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yes. She is the biggest advocate for medical marijuana. Let's listen to her in her own words. We were all wrong to accuse her of not advocating for medical marijuana, even though she was trying to stop it not more than 2 or 3 months ago. Had a change of heart. Now she's making commercials where she advocates for medical marijuana. Let's listen to her. Let's see what she's got to say.
In 2020, the voters of South Dakota spoke up and approved medical cannabis. One of my jobs as governor is to make sure that the will of the people and all constitutional laws are enforced. The medical cannabis program is on schedule, and we're working to implement a responsible program that follows the direction given by the voters. Throughout the rules and the public process, the Departments of Education and Health have been careful in their approach. Other states have made mistakes that we do not want to repeat. I want South Dakota to have the best, the most patient-focused medical cannabis program in the country. I've heard from people who are hurting and are hopeful for relief. I can assure them that we are working hard to streamline the process to get medical cards out to people. And my team is 100% committed to starting this program as quickly and as responsibly as possible for South Dakota.
What do you guys think? You believe her?
I can't wait till I can legally smoke.
What the hell does she mean by responsibly? Like, I want to know a definition. Oh my.
Bailey, I agree with you.
You got the next video where she talks about how she always supported it, or what?
Yes, I do have the next video. I'll bust that out right now.
Play that one quick, because I kind of got some theories on why she said she always supported it.
Yeah, I remember that one where she was like, I don't want South Dakota to be a drug state, and this is just a small step towards becoming a drug state, and we're going to remain a family state.
Yeah. Yeah, she played that commercial everywhere.
That's what I remember.
All right, here is that video. I'll just skip through this. Here we go. We just heard that, so here we go. Or wait.
From the commercial she aired before the November 3rd election, campaigning against the effort to legalize medical marijuana in the state.
I'm urging all South Dakotans to vote no on legalizing marijuana this November. I think there's been people that have misconstrued my position on medical marijuana. For years, I've said I supported medical marijuana.
Saying that you've supported medical marijuana in the past, I think that that's hard for some people who are the patients who are looking forward to this when you campaigned against IM26.
Yes, I specifically campaigned against the fact that I didn't think that marijuana made anybody smarter.
But Governor Noem says she supports qualifying patients having medical marijuana as an option.
I think that that is something we take seriously and want to give them access to. But I want to do it in a way that is responsible.
While she opposed IM26, Governor Noem said she would support the legalization of medical marijuana on a federal level if it gets FDA approval.
The regulatory process that the FDA has, make sure that you're getting the potency as it's labeled.
Despite her belief that this should be done by a different
Get
channel,
the potency as it's labeled. Is anybody gonna die if the potency's higher, Greg? I don't.
And I think that
this isn't fentanyl. This is weed.
I want to give them access to, but I want to do it in a way that is responsible.
Responsible.
In our nearly half-hour interview,
what does that even mean?
Yeah, so I don't like how, she bills herself as this small government, limited government, conservative, states' rights, anti-federalist. Maybe she doesn't consider herself an anti-federalist, but to hear her say that, well, of course I support medical marijuana if the federal government comes out and regulates it, then I support it. It's like, you're the governor of South Dakota. You were elected by South Dakotans to represent us. Why are you waiting on the federal government to do anything?
Exactly, dude.
You know, the federal government doesn't. The federal government
un-Republican
doesn't
of her to
fucking
say that.
the federal government doesn't have a concealed carry law either, but you passed one of those. You know, it's a hypocrite nonsense. But the other thing is, like, she says she's always supported medical, and we know that's not true. But it's like politician double talk when they say they supported something, because what she supported is, you know, like pharmaceutical medical marijuana, or, well, yeah, it's just, you didn't actually support it. In fact, you didn't even want hemp a couple years ago, because you said that if we legalize hemp, we're just basically legalizing marijuana.
Yeah, dude. Like back then, hemp and weed were the same subject. Now, all of a sudden, weed and hemp are different subjects, and we need to file a lawsuit because I'm protecting the Constitution. Dude, the fucking founding fathers would. Oh my god, I gotta pause myself before I go like CJ crazy. But dude, the founding fathers would not be cool with what Kristi Noem's logic is on banning things, to the point where, I don't know, maybe they'd shoot her out of a fucking illegal cannon that that Biden's worried about everybody owning in America.
I think what we're witnessing is that something has been proven such a popular issue with the voters that you just can't ignore it, you know?
Yeah.
And so you're seeing her literally flip-flop in real time. And, you know, oh, I've always been a supporter of this. Bitch,
No.
you have been nothing but a roadblock since you've been governor. Like, straight up, you've been nothing but a roadblock. You know, vetoed hemp, and then finally the legislature passed it without you. Even though you voted for it as a congresswoman, you voted for the farm bill that included hemp. But then once you came to South Dakota, you weren't in favor of hemp. You've never been in favor of medical marijuana. And to just pass the buck to the federal government is just being lazy. It's like, nah, I'm just waiting on these bureaucrats in Washington, D.C. to decide something, you know?
Yeah. What do you think, Shawn? What's your take on Kristi Noem's sudden change of heart? Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was getting lighting and grabbing some stuff, and yeah, sorry, I bounced out.
You're good.
We need to know.
Just like, I was listening to everything though. Yeah, just like Greg said. Yeah, she is really just trying to get the voters' favor back because she knows she's screwed up by going against the popular vote and saying, "Oh yeah, well, I don't think we should legalize it," like I said before, because it's like, oh, well, we're going to become a drug state. And, you know, she was even talking about not wanting to do hemp, but really all it was her husband selling crop insurance. And she was like, well, I'm going to lose out of pocket. So that's really the obvious reason why she went against it. But now she's just trying to gain voter favor back. And it's really a bunch of bullshit, double talk, exactly what Greg said.
What do you think she's got planned for 2020? Is she running for governor next year, or is she going to run for higher office in 2024?
I think she'll probably run for higher office. Especially, I think that's what that whole sucking up to Trump thing was. You know, trying to get on his favor, trying to gain the Republican national favor by, you know, suck it up to Trump. I definitely think she's going to go for higher office.
Well, we'd be lucky to get rid of her.
Yeah, I wouldn't cry if we got rid of her. I mean,
All right, last story, I think, possibly. South Dakota Attorney General doesn't want outsiders to watch his fatal crash trial. What are you guys' thoughts on this?
That guy has done everything he could to just not take responsibility for his, they proved already pretty much. I mean, it wasn't a court of law yet, but they proved that the guy was on his phone when he hit somebody. That he should have been charged with something a lot more serious than what he was charged with. And I mean, you just see a guy that's his career is in its death throes, and he's just grasping at whatever he can to like try to save it. It's like, I'm going to plead not guilty to these charges, and I'm going to fight them, and we're going to not allow cameras in the courtroom. It's like, why can't we have cameras in the courtroom? Like, do you understand how huge this story is? Like, we are a media organization, but if I was one of the big media organizations like Kello or some of these companies with some money behind me, I would be fighting to have cameras in the courtroom. It'd be ratings gold. I want to know what happened. I want to hear it all laid out in court, and then I want to hear this wormy, weaselly asshole like squirm his way and try to justify. I mean, we did a couple podcasts on it, and we watched the whole interview. And this guy,
yeah, dude, didn't we start this whole podcast with the Ravensburg investigation? I think that was episode 2. We've had like 4 or 5 episodes exclusively on this case. I think my favorite episode was when those interviews came out, and we watched the second one on here with Austin and Chandler.
Well, look, as libertarians, we like to talk about personal responsibility a lot, and this guy has taken absolutely zero personal responsibility for what he did. He hasn't resigned. He hasn't done anything.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you think, Shawn? Do you think Ravensburg should resign?
absolutely.
Do you think
not only should he resign, but yeah, he should have faced penalties just like anybody else. He should have done jail time.
Do you think the jury is gonna give him jail time, or do you think they're gonna give him a fine? I think he faces up to 30 days.
Yeah, I think they're probably just gonna slap him with the fine. They're gonna slap him on the wrist just to say that they did something, so people don't lose their shit. But
yeah,
if anything, yeah, he should be in jail and he should definitely be forced to resign.
What do you guys think about all the news organizations that come out and say that people are recklessly driving before any evidence has been gathered to that effect, like they had to gather for this case to determine if it was reckless driving? Like, it's usually the same things where someone's not in their lane, somebody commits a traffic infraction. And for the Ravensburg case, it took 5 months to determine that was reckless driving, and he killed somebody driving outside of his lane and lied about it to investigators.
Well, and actually, they had a press conference to say it was not reckless driving.
Yeah, they had a huge press conference, and that
was literally like a week before those videos came out that proved that it was reckless driving.
Yeah.
It's like, you guys are corrupt, man.
We were watching this. I was watching this podcast when they were pulling this apart, and I'm not gonna lie, I think I got halfway through the podcast. I just got so pissed off. I was like, I can't even listen to this anymore. I was like, I can't do this. This is just terrible.
Yeah, dude, I can't believe that Hughes County attorney is just insane. Then laughing about that, she was, I think Joe Sneeve from Argus Leader asked, "Oh, if he was speeding, why wasn't he given a speeding ticket?" Well, we use our discretion. I don't know anybody in South Dakota that hasn't been speeding before. So, I mean, it's our discretion. And it's like, dude, everybody else, when they're speeding, doesn't run somebody over. So I'm thinking, like, if we run somebody over, it's safe to give us a speeding ticket. Give me a break. Like,
You know what the other thing I worry about, like with the whole, specifically this whole, he doesn't want cameras in the courtroom, is this guy's a sneaky snake, and he's a lawyer, and he's been a lawyer for a lot of years. And how much do you want to bet that he somehow could work out some deal where like the court case is sealed? You know, it's like, oh, he was found guilty of these misdemeanors charges, but the court records are sealed now. And it's like, so then you don't actually get to hear what happened in court, you know?
Yeah.
I could see that happening.
Yeah, dude, he's pulling out all his legalese expertise on the situation out. And I think he's even lost his support of his Republican backers. I don't even know why he's fighting it. It must just be for his own personal reputation.
Yeah, I think Christie Noem called for his resignation.
Yeah, like his political career is over. I mean, he still has. Like, I want him to lose his law license, dude. Like, if he's not gonna go to prison, like, give me a break. This guy was lying to investigators. Like, that's got to count for something. I don't know. Anyhow.
Oh, you think people should go to jail for lying to the cops, Evan?
Damn it, dude. No.
Oh, so all right. On another
just
note,
what is the Republican?
I did have one more topic that I didn't mention before, but so John McAfee died this year or this week. Yeah, that was the big news this week. John McAfee died, who ran for president as a Libertarian in 2016. I think he was trying to possibly run in 2020, but I don't think he did. But yeah, he died of suicide in his Spain prison cell. I don't know how long he had been in there already, like 8 months, 7-8 months he had been in that jail, waiting on extradition to the United States on tax charges. I'm not sure if there were some other charges, but everyone's saying it's an Epstein scenario. I know there was like a lot of social media posts where a couple years ago he had said, you know, if I commit suicide, it wasn't me. I didn't really commit suicide. But that was a couple years ago. So who knows? I guess to me, I don't know much. I mean, I guess maybe I don't know enough about it, but like, it seems to me like he probably just committed suicide because he had been in that prison cell for like 7-8 months. And
brave of you to say that, Greg.
On the day that they sign extradition papers to bring him to the United States, like, why would? I guess my point is, what would be the point of killing him?
Yeah, I don't get the point. Yeah, I don't get. This is really confusing. Like, I don't understand why the government would kill him. I also don't really understand why he would kill himself because, like unless he's going to like a secret court, like the courts are public. Don't you want that attention, John McAfee? Don't you want to have that attention of a big major court case on taxation?
That's
and you're gonna fight it.
I don't buy this whole. He had some nuclear switch, and he had all this dirt on all these politicians and shit. Because it's like, dude, you've been in prison for basically 8 months now. If I have a nuclear switch that implicates a whole bunch
Calm
of
down, Joe Biden. Calm down. Calm down.
Well,
with your nuclear switch.
A kill switch. I don't remember what they called it, but
yeah, a kill switch.
But all I'm saying is, I'm not going to sit in jail for 8 months. Like, I'm calling you. We're getting these extradition charges dropped. Like, I don't know how you would justify, like, he had all this dirt on people, but yet he just willingly sat in jail for 8 months. Like, when was he going to expose it?
What about because there's a conspiracy theory circling around that I don't know if it's accurate, but I don't know if it's a Photoshop tweet or if it was a real tweet or what, but apparently there's a tweet circling around that mentioned that he said he had his, like, I don't remember what it was, a bunch of terabytes of data in a Miami condo that would be released if he didn't send his kill switch code to this server every once in a while. Shawn, Shawn's got a dip early. Thanks for coming on, Shawn. We really appreciate it. You're a great guest. We'll have to have you come on again. We're definitely going to be at the Walk for Freedom in Mitchell on August 7th at 10 a.m. Do you have any final thoughts before you sign out?
Nope. Just thank you for having me. And if anyone can show up to the Walk for Freedom, I would appreciate it. And I hope more people watch this show. It's a great show. I know I'll be watching it more often on Sundays. And thank you guys for having me.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks for coming
on. Okay, where was I? Oh, yeah. So there's a conspiracy going around that John McAfee said that he had secret files that were going to be released, and they're hidden in a server in some Miami condo. I don't know if that tweet was real or photoshopped after the fact, but a condo in Miami, like literally right after John McAfee died, collapsed. Like a section of it collapsed. And they don't know why it collapsed. There's 159 people still trapped under the rubble. I mean, they're probably gone, dude. That collapse looked really bad. Yeah. And like, why are buildings in America collapsing? Like, this is something you see in like China or something, you know, where they're like they have like, I don't know, they're just building buildings too fast and not like actually making them strong, you know. But very strange.
I did see that his wife is calling for an investigation.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's that.
Do you think she has his crypto? Or do you think, how do you think that happened? I know he's big into crypto. He was big in the crypto scene.
Dude, he only probably knew her for a couple. He only knew her for a couple years. I wouldn't doubt if he did not give her.
That would kind of suck. It's like that'd be what you would use your kill switch for, you know, like something, you know, like, hey, if I don't put my password in, that probably means I'm going to be dead. So like email my password information to my loved ones. I don't know. Maybe she did. But I know he was big in the crypto scene. That's how I kind of got to familiarize with John McAfee, because I came from the crypto scene.
Look, all I'm saying is that it's not the same as Epstein, because Epstein actually had influence over politicians, and he got away with his crimes for decades. You know what I'm saying? And it only came to light after that Freedom of Information Act request, where they found out that he got a slap on the wrist for these charges. But like, so I just don't buy this that like John McAfee had a bunch of dirt on people, because if you did, you would wield influence over those people. And where was your influence? You're being charged with tax evasion, and you're being held in a foreign country for eight months. I mean, that doesn't sound like you had a whole lot of influence, or, you know.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I don't know. I mean, what would be the point in holding on to it too? So you were waiting to get
sentenced? Yeah, dude, that's my thing, dude. Like, release that shit right away. You're safer releasing the top secret information like Snowden did. Like, once you release the information, they know that if they kill you, it'll be bad. Like, it'll be like Epstein bad. Like, nobody believe. Like, even like you heard Shawn earlier. He said he's a skeptic on conspiracy theories. But even he knows the Epstein thing was totally not suicide. Like, everybody knows that. And like, if you were to kill Edward Snowden after the fact of him releasing that stuff and saying that he's the one that released it, that would have been another situation. Like, you can only get away so many times doing that. Like, they're on their last strike. Like, one more strike. Like, we already had an insurrection at the White House over some bullcrap reasoning. Can you imagine? No, get away from that. Sorry, I was talking to my cat. Can you imagine? God damn it. Sorry. Can you imagine if it was something like they killed Edward Snowden and Julian Assange, and we're just fed up and done with it, and then we were protesting around Congress and starting to smash windows? Dude, we would have like an Iceland revolution situation where like the entire government would be forced to resign and we just put new people in. But yeah, I don't know. Do we have any more headlines we want to talk about, or should we just start closing out the show?
Yeah, I'd say one last thing.
All right.
that's the other thing about McAfee. It's like, so with Epstein, you had the public that was actually calling for him to be arrested and brought to trial for his crimes. You know, the public is basically what caused that. Like with McAfee, like the public's not calling on him to be arrested for tax evasion. Like, you know what I mean? That's like strictly a government. So the government's mad at you and they're charging you with crimes. But again, it's like if you had information and all this stuff, like you could easily make that government crap just go away, I would imagine.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, dude.
So I don't know.
Totally agree. I think he did it to stick it to the government myself. I know that's not popular in libertarian world to say that. Well, that's what I think. I think he was trying to troll the government. He's getting old. He didn't want to spend the rest of his life in jail.
Who wants to go to prison? I mean, federal prison for the next 10, 15 years?
You know, he probably...
He was, 70, I think, is what they said already.
Yeah, 75. So it's like, yeah, dude. Maybe he knew something we didn't. Like maybe he had a terminal illness of some sort that, you know, that wasn't made public. Maybe he knew he had only so long to live. I don't know. It's all speculation. But just the way he was saying that the government was going to kill him, it just didn't seem as authentic as other people who've said the same thing.
I feel like if he had died when those tweets came out or something, then it would be
like,
more
why
powerful.
would the government troll? Yeah, like why would the government troll you and say they're gonna kill you?
Wait 2 years.
Like wouldn't it just be they just kill? Like wouldn't it just be like Gary Webb, or like they just come and kill you one day? They're not gonna, you know.
Yeah, that was the weird.
Like you can tell Clinton didn't do this.
They kept showing that tweet, but it was like the tweets from 2 years ago. It's like that doesn't carry as much weight, in my opinion. That'd be like me saying, "Look, if the government ever, I won't commit suicide," and then 10 years from now, all of a sudden I die. It's like, well, I don't know. Yeah. That's not really that valid.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So let's see. 3 weeks from now, about 3 or 4 weeks, Freedom Fest, Rapid City. You want to be there. A lot of people are hitting up the page now for this code to get $100 off. I know a lot of libertarians are going to be there. And that code is go to thefreedomfest.com, put in the code FF21LPSD, and you'll get $100 off your ticket to Freedom Fest. There's going to be a lot of great speakers there. Justin Amash, Jill Jorgensen, Tom Woods, JP Spears, Larry Elder, Dave Rubin, John Mackey, Dr. Drew Pinsky, Deidre. Can you pronounce some of these names, Greg? Help me out here.
I don't know some of those people.
Deidre Nansen McCloskey, Ian Here's Ollie.
Yeah. I figure we just cover the libertarians.
Larry Sharp's gonna be there. Like, I thought all these people were libertarians. I've been promoting them, and they're not libertarians.
Yeah, some of those people I have no idea who they are.
God damn it, dude!
You can be promoting some.
I know Larry Sharp is a libertarian. Maj Tour is a libertarian.
Yeah, these
Mary
three
Rewert, libertarian. Larry Sharp's actually going to come to our after party event. That's going to be at JJR's Roadhouse Barbecue on the 23rd at 5:30. Did I get that right?
Yeah. So. Unless Colin changes it at the last minute, but right now that is our plan.
So yeah, we've got a big LPSD members after party event. If you're thinking about joining the Libertarian Party, you want to come meet us, see what we're all about. You want to see a major player in the Libertarian Party speak, give a little pep talk, see what he's all about. Larry Sharp's going to be there. Like, everybody loves Larry Sharp. I don't know anybody that doesn't like Larry Sharp. We got a comment. Chris German says, thanks for the conversation, fellas. I had you on my gardening radio out watering. Awesome to hear about your garden. You'll have to come on the show sometime, Chris. We can talk about whatever. We're having a UFO show. We're going to interview. Hopefully, I think it's still on the 29th, which is on Tuesday. We're not going to do a 4th of July show. Greg and I are going to be too busy celebrating our freedoms on the 4th of July to do a podcast. But we will be doing our normal Sunday show on Tuesday, which is in like 2 days. And we're gonna do a repeat of our UFO show to see if we can get some more UFO witnesses on the show. We actually have a guy who was on Ancient Aliens for one episode, which counts. So that's awesome. He saw our last show and he's going to come on. He's going to talk to us about UFOs. He's actually trying to start a libertarian UFO caucus, which I think is pretty cool. So we'll have him on to talk about that. And there's actually a report that the Pentagon just released on UFOs. So we'll talk about that as well. That just got released. So Greg and I are going to read it first before we start talking about it.
Yeah, I haven't read through it all, but
yeah, dude.
We'll read through it by Tuesday. Special show on Tuesday.
Yeah. So this episode is brought to you by Pinkcoin. You can check them out at pinkcoin.com. If you like our show, please subscribe on YouTube, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter at Hedgehog Watchdog. Check out Free Speech Media on Trovo, D Live, and that they're also on Facebook too. You have any? What did I miss? Anything? I think I've said everything. I always miss something. Check out hedgehogwatchdog.com for new merchandise. Every time you guys buy a shirt, it really helps us out. We're actually paying for our media passes for Freedom Fest and our lodging for Freedom Fest with t-shirt purchases and our sponsor, Pinkcoin. Appreciate everything you guys do to help keep this show running. Like we got episode 31, dude. 31. Can you believe that? Half a year we've kept this alive, man.
Yeah,
most podcasts die after like 8 episodes, dude. We've been rocking it hard.
So if we don't do a 4th of July show, that'll be the first Sunday we haven't actually done a live show, which is pretty good. That we've done 6 months of live shows without missing a week.
We're not even missing it. We're just doing it on Tuesday, dude.
So
dude, we've done every holiday. We've missed so many holidays. They're all on Sunday. We missed Father's Day, Mother's Day, Valentine's Day. What other days? Every holiday this last 6 months has been on a Sunday, it seems. So we're taking a Sunday for America. Easter and we're lighting Sunday. Easter, So we're gonna shoot off fireworks or get drunk, and maybe we'll do a drunken 4th of July special. Not guaranteeing it, probably not gonna happen. But Tuesday should be fun. So tune in Tuesday, 7 o'clock, maybe 7:30, probably 7. Just tune in at 7 to be sure. And thanks for tuning in. We'll see you on Tuesday. Let me find my. Oh, we got some comments here. Let's read these. Fish Baldwin says thumbs up. Awesome. Shawn McDaniel says good show. Hell yeah. Thanks to our fans. We appreciate you guys. Tell your friends to like our page.
50% of the views, guys. Keep it up.
Keep it up. You're carrying us, man. You're carrying us.
Yeah.
But
all right. Well, we'll see you Tuesday.
See you on Tuesday. Peace out. Have a good one.